We're thinking about buying a home and we have absolutely no idea where to get started. Well, that is a great question, and I'm hoping to be able to address that for you today. Hi, everybody. I'm Stacy Thorne with CMG Home Loans, and welcome to the Home Loan Pro series, where education with a little preparation and guidance from a good, solid lender, I believe that the home buying process can be fun and enjoyable. One of the things that we try to do to make this process as quick and easy for you as possible is we start by just taking a few minutes of your time right over the phone. It's that simple, just a quick phone call. In that call, before we would have our time together, it is recommended that you gather a few documents that may be an easy reference point for you on some of the things that we'll cover during that call. The documentation that I always recommend to have nearby are things such as the last 30-day paycheck stubs, last 2 years W-2s, last 2 years tax returns, and the address of your residence for the last 2 years. As you can kind of see, there's a theme there, 2 by 2 by 2. And with that, we will start the process by asking you some key information. We can spend some time taking your application right over the phone, or there's a very quick and convenient mortgage link that we have that we can either text to you or send to you by email. When you fill out the application, you'll want to have available your social security number, your date of birth, your employment history for the last 2 years, your addresses covering the last 2 years consistently. That'll allow me as your lender to do my homework to look at all of the different loan options that you would qualify for. Once I've done my homework, we will hop on a Teams call together, and that call usually takes anywhere from half hour to an hour. And I go through with you all the different loan suggestions that I can recommend based on your overall objectives for your new home. We'll discuss your budget. We'll discuss price range, down payments. We'll even review your credit. Now, one of the most common questions in the pre-approval process is, do you have to pull my credit report? And I always look at that as the Monopoly game of do not pass go. Yes, the first thing that I'll want to do is take a look at your credit report, but don't fear. Some people are worried that a hard credit pull will affect their credit scores. Even though it's one of the least likely things to affect your scores, your concerns are heard. And so we can simply do the initial review, the initial pre-approval process with a soft pull that's not going to affect a hard hit on your credit report. Not a problem. But we'll be able to use the tools from that soft pull to go over credit. I can provide to you suggestions based on credit tools that I have here. I can go over suggestions on how maybe to improve certain things on your credit, some suggestions that I would have on steps to take in your credit history to improve your credit scores, because the better the credit score, the more loan options and possibly the better interest rate that you're going to expect on your mortgage. The second thing that we're going to review together is your employment history. How are you paid? There are so many different ways in which an individual is paid. Some of those, based on how long you've been with your employer, may not be income that we can use. Whether you're self-employed, receive bonus income, commission, overtime, those are special considerations that we'll want to review together during your loan consultation to make sure that we have documented and given you full credit for everything that's available. One of the least important things that I feel in the buying process is cash to close. The reason I'm saying that it's the least thing of importance for me as your lender is because there are so many different solutions to cash to close in today's world that my primary focus in the beginning is what is your credit history and how much can you afford based on your current obligations. Then once we've covered that, pinpoint the price range of home that you'll be looking for. Then I'll go through with you several different ways that we can look at either how to come up with the cash to close if it's not yet available. We'll also review first-time homebuyer options if that's a criteria that we may We'll talk about 401k loans, gift funds, how to sell secured funds, how to sell a vehicle or maybe, an extra, recreational vehicle that you have, and how to properly document that for cash to close. So do not let the fear of what ifs, what happens, what should we expect, or the vulnerability concerns that you have, let that keep you from contacting us. I myself, over the last 30 something years in finance, I've financed several home loans, and I will admit to you, every single time that I either buy a car or I finance a new home, I go through the same consumer feelings as anybody else would. And those are feelings of vulnerability. What is this person going to see on my credit report? Do I have late payments that maybe I'm not aware of? What is my debt to income ratio? Can I afford this home? So please know that every approach that we take with our clients is exactly as I would want someone to treat me in my vulnerable opportunities of buying a home. I want somebody to be patient and understanding and thorough. So again, I am completely convinced that the home buying process can be enjoyable with a little bit of education, a little bit of preparation, and getting that approval done before you start looking for a house. Is going to allow you the ease and comfort to really enjoy the process of finding the one. Give us a call today, and I'm happy to help.